Dancing, guzzling alcohol, flashing smartphones, watching TV. This is what's happening in Bengaluru's Parappana Agrahara Central Prison, apparently a high-security jail. These men, some of the deadliest criminals of the country, are having the time of their life. There's a video of them dancing inside the jail with alcohol being served, peanuts, all of them dancing like they're at a party. Definitely not being punished for the heinous crimes they've committed. And heinous is a mild word. The man on your screens, Umesh Reddy, a serial rapist and murderer. He was a police constable, raped and murdered 18 women across Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat. He would target women who were home alone, would gain entry into the victim's house on the pretext of asking for water or an address, raped them, murdered them, would remove their jewelry to make the crime appear like a robbery. He raped and murdered a girl as young as 16 years old. And here's how he's paying the price. Why would he even feel any remorse? Look at him. He's got a phone, in touch with the outside world. He's got a TV, enjoying life essentially with all the entertainment he needs. And let me remind you, he's confessed to killing 18 women. Here's another accused, Zuhab Hameed, an ISIS operative, again chilling with a smartphone inside the jail. This man is a computer application specialist who was arrested by the NIA for radicalizing and sending youngsters to Syria illegally to train them to unleash terror in India. And imagine then how dangerous it is that he has a phone on him with no tracking at all of who he's actually speaking to. I've given you two examples, and I'm referring to just two people we've identified in the footage that we've accessed. These hardened criminals are having the time of their life. And let's be clear, this is not about a few rogue prisoners smuggling in contraband. This is a culture of collusion between inmates, wardens, officials. There are phones in there, alcohol, parties, all of this inside a state-run prison. This doesn't come out of thin air. They're allowed in often at a price. It's corruption, let's be clear. Every bottle, every phone, every dance clip that we're seeing is a symptom of systemic corruption. Let's get you all of those details in our next report of all the viral videos that have come in from the Bengaluru jail.
The jail Jalsa saga in Karnataka is spiraling out of control, with shocking new videos exposing massive lapses in prison security and management. Visuals from Bengaluru Central Jail, first accessed by India Today, show inmates drinking, dancing and singing party all night, turning prison walls into a full-blown party zone. The jail lapses run deeper. Inmates, including ISIS recruiter Zuhab Shashikala, was found using smartphones and watching TV. Serial rapist Umesh Reddy and gold smuggling accused Tarun were also caught with gadgets and entertainment in their cells. The Karnataka BJP took to the streets, gherawing the Chief Minister's residence in protest over VVIP treatment for inmates.
BJP is staging a protest which is en route to Chief Minister's residence close to Shivalan Circle, and you can see that leader of opposition R. Ashok, C.T. Ravi, B.Y. Vijayendra, Chalvadi Narayan Swamy, Ashwath Narayan and few other leaders are part of this particular protest, and they will try to get off Chief Minister's residence demanding action against all those officers, and even they have demanded the resignation of Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameshwara and Chief Minister for the lapses inside the prison.
Siddaramaiah government in Karnataka have transformed Parappana Agrahara jail as an entertainment club for all the anti-national ISI and Islamic radicals. Without the consent or without the support of the state government, this could not have taken place.
This government is thinking that terrorists are very not safe in the roads or the outside the jail. So that they have brought them to jail and giving all the facilities to enjoy. See, what type of government you are.
India Today news break jolted the Siddaramaiah government. Home Minister G. Parameshwara called a high-level meeting and shunted out top jail officials. The Siddaramaiah government also ordered a thorough probe.
Looking at the information available and the incident happened, we have taken a decision to to transfer the Chief Superintendent of Prison of Parappana Agrahara, Mr. Suresh K.
With top officials dismissed and a high-level IPS team on the case, the government is under pressure to restore order and credibility in Karnataka's prisons. With Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Unbelievable images that have come in from the Bengaluru prison. Some a week old, some a few years old, but ultimately the same message that prisoners are chilling inside the jail. Sagai Raj is joining me live with more details on this. Sagai, what kind of action has been taken after you've accessed those videos, after we aired it? In the last 24 hours, we understand that the government also has taken serious note.
Absolutely. And if you notice that ASP, Superintendent of Police, as well as lower rank officers have been suspended, and SP of jail has been transferred from Bengaluru. And if you notice that, Akshita, this is not the first time that we are exposing this incident. Let me tell you what has happened in the past. Remember Shashikala? There were allegations that Shashikala used to stay there and step out for shopping and come back again to the prison. And thereafter, we have exposed about Darshan, who was having a gala time inside the prison. And we have also exposed that one accused, terror accused, T. Nazir, how he was radicalizing the people, and including the Sharik, who was Mangaluru bomb blast accused, was been radicalized by him when he was arrested and when he was in prison, and he got contact with this terrorist. And that's when he got radicalized, and that's when he executed the plan of Mangaluru blast. And now we have shown that Darshan was having a good time, and after that, Hameed, who was the ISS recruiter, he is a person who's well versed with the technology. He had access to laptop, and he was recruiting online. Now he gets access to a smartphone where he can continue the job what he was doing outside.
Which is scary. And the fact that, you've given us a long list of this happening is also extremely worrying. Thanks, Sagai, for joining us with those details. Let me open this up. Joining us on this broadcast is Mr. A.S. Ponnanna, MLA, advocate and legal advisor to the Chief Minister. Mr. Ponnanna, this is extremely concerning, extremely worrying. And as my colleague Sagai pointed out, not the first time. We've seen it happen with Darshan. We've seen it previously with Shashikala. This keeps happening in the same prison, sir, in Parappana, Agrahara. Mr. Ponnanna, can you hear me? All right, apologies. We're going to connect with Mr. Ponnanna to get us a sense of really what the government is doing about this. There are serious questions being asked of the Karnataka government right now on how these kind of very brazen security lapses have been taking place. You see the kind of seizures also there of the multiple smartphones that these prisoners have, and some of these are terror suspects accused of recruiting youngsters, sending them to Syria, and then they've got smartphones with them. So just imagine what they're doing while being behind bars. This is rampant corruption that we've constantly reported on across the country. It's not limited to Parappana Agrahara, but the reality is that this kind of a prison system needs a serious relook. And Parappana Agrahara itself, the Bangalore Central Prison, has seen multiple such instances, multiple such incidents that have been reported. There was one, of course, with Shashikala, with her holding shopping bags, Darshan enjoying tea, sitting in a garden, not at all seeming like he was in a prison. Okay, Mr. Ponnanna is back with me. Sir, if you can hear me, there have been multiple instances of this kind of habitual prisoners enjoying themselves in Parappana Agrahara. This is a prison where we've seen this repeatedly, of prisoners enjoying themselves.
See, obviously, this is not something which is acceptable.
Yeah.
And the Home Minister has also come out and accepted the fact that nobody can agree with what has happened in the Parappana Agrahara jail. It calls for major reforms in the jail system, and we are at it. And immediate action is also being taken by the government. Obviously, we cannot justify. There is no question of justifying what has happened. But the way forward is to bring about reforms and radical reforms in the way the jail system functions itself.
The
So I'm sure
challenge,
that
Mr.
the
Ponnanna, the
government.
challenge is that we've had this exact conversation months ago when, you had footage of Darshan enjoying himself in Parappana, Agrahara, where he had a phone, he was sitting and sipping tea with all the other accused in the Renaka Swami murder case. If there was a crackdown, then why are we seeing a similar situation once again now?
No, there was a crackdown. I mean, if you can recollect, the moment that came out, there was a crackdown. Obviously, there is failure to sustain it and ensure that these kind of incidents don't happen, which is why I'm saying it takes radical steps are required, radical measures are required. The government is very serious about what has happened. We have also come down on the jailer and also appointed a law and order ADGP as a task force to look into this entire issue. All I can say is that the state government in Karnataka has taken this issue very, very seriously. It is a lapse, and we will look to rectify this lapse at the earliest.
The challenge, Mr. Ponnanna, is that there will be questions about whether we can actually believe that the government is going to do something about it. The same steps, the same measures were taken right after the Darshan case too. And clearly that was, stopgap, if anything. It didn't change how the system worked. It didn't change what happens in Parappana, Agrahara. How are we to believe that now something is going to change? Yes, suspensions, transfers have happened, but this is clearly a rot that runs way deeper.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we cannot deny this fact. It is a rot that runs really deep, which is why even after Darshan, this has repeated. And which is why we are saying that we will take radical steps. We are going to make reforms in the system itself. You see, for example, today under trials who are to be in judicial custody and convicts, both of them are in the same prison. Judicial custody should not be in a prison, in my opinion. And these kind of reforms are a must to ensure that such incidents don't take place and it does not become a party hole for under trials or, for that matter, for convicts.
The BJP is alleged that this is a result of rampant corruption, of the government simply looking the other way when there's a corrupt prison system in place in Karnataka. What's your response to that?
No, this is a result of the rampant corruption that the BJP has left behind for us to deal with. You see, this is a legacy issue. This is an issue which the BJP is equally responsible for. Let's not play blame games here. And politicize it and ask for resignations. And you see, was everything clean in the 10 years of rule that they have done in Karnataka? The most corrupt government that ever produced in Karnataka was during the regime. The chief minister went to jail. So let's not politicize these issues. These are issues which we must address from the lowest level to the jailer, to the guards there. It is a outcome of corruption. We cannot deny that fact. I'm sure somebody has taken money to allow these guys to go ahead and have their luxuries. And we must deal with it together. We must join hands in fighting this issue rather than politicizing it and pointing fingers at one another. So I don't want to get into what happened during the BJP regime. But you see, every time something like this, which is requiring reforms over years. I mean, it's like I said, legacy issues come into picture. We should not politicize these things. This has not happened overnight. This has not happened once. This has happened many a time, and all of us are equally responsible. But we must stem the rot. We must ensure that there is radical reforms. It is about looking about the way forward. As a responsible opposition, I think the BJP must come up with the solutions to these problems.
Well, the opposition does have a right to ask questions of the government.
Of course.
But you've given us that assurance, Mr. Ponnanna. You've given us that assurance that the government is taking this seriously. I certainly hope so, because after what's happened with Darshan, you'd think that there would have been enough reforms, and clearly that's not the case. Looking at the footage that's come in, but thank you, Mr. Ponnanna.
We are also equally worried, and we are equally concerned about what has happened, and there will be reforms. you can be rest assured.
We certainly hope so. Thank you, Mr. Ponnanna, for joining us. I want to bring in on this broadcast also now Bhaskar Rao, who is served as Commissioner of Police in Bengaluru, is also a spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. We have Mr. Shankar Bidri, also former DG and Inspector General of Police in Karnataka. Mr. Bhaskar Rao, I'd like to come to you first. And I'd like your view as a former top cop yourself on what's gone wrong really in our prison systems, that we see this kind of footage every few months emerge from Karnataka, from Parappana, Agrahara.
This government has been in power for last 2.5 years, and the same Home Minister has been there. Indiscipline and this kind of activities in the jail has been going on, and the government has lost complete control over jail administration. And the Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Parameshwara, has just been reduced to a Mr. Nobody. And whenever you ask him something, he says, I don't know, I am not aware, nobody has briefed me. In this specific case, we all know how the entire prison administration has been taken for a ride by famous criminals lodged inside the Parappana Agrahara jail.
Is this, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, a question of one government versus another, or is this just a corrupt system that we have to deal with, irrespective of political parties, irrespective of which government is in power?
It is, see, let us not bring politics for a moment here. I will tell you, this government is here for last 2.5 years. There is a Home Minister. There is an additional DGP or DGP in charge of prisons. There is one more person prior to this person being there. Why is it that repeatedly these things are happening over there? That is because the Home Minister is not serious. He is not cracking the whip. The jail has become a den of corruption. Corruption as regards how the convicted prisoners are to be hosted, what kind of comforts are to be given to them, how the under trial prisoners are to be dealt with over there, and how the resources of the jail are being managed over there. Crores of rupees are sent for the jail for food, etc., etc. There is pilferage there also. Construction goes on, there is pilferage also. And now to top it over, you have a demoralized IPS officer who is heading the prisons, who was recently suspended for no fault of his, and he is also not available. So the junior people are merrily carrying on corrupt activities within the four walls of the jail. And this is what you expect. And there are a lot of
no, but I wonder, and I'd like to bring in Mr. Shankar Bidri also on this. Mr. Bidri, I question whether this is just us now finally coming to know what's happening in these prisons, because I suspect that this is what's always been happening, and we finally know what's happening courtesy these videos, that nothing's ever changed. It's always been like this.
Good evening. Just now, respected legal luminary Sri Ponnanna has already spoken. He has spoken certain truths which you must accept. At the same time, I would like to tell you that the fault does not lie with the system. The fault lies with the governments in power. It is not the first time that this kind of things, developments have taken place in the prisons.
Yeah.
They are continuously taking place. Particularly during the last 7-8 years, there is substantial increase in this kind of untoward developments that are taking place in the prisons. Governments, the main and primary reason, perhaps in my opinion, the only reason for this is the governments for the last 7-8 years are continuously indulging in cash-based transfers. 100% transfers are being effected by the government. The delegated powers of the IG prisons or DG of police or the police establishment board are not being exercised by the
right now, Mr. Bidri, the answer that the government has come up with is again transfers, again suspensions. Do you think that's the answer, or something more needs to be done? Because like I said earlier, this is rot that runs very, very deep. I would say not just in the Bengaluru prison, but across India.
One thing I would like to tell you, the political system has become so rotten that they have not spared even revenue, police, prison, and prosecution departments from the evil influence of corruption. And one thing is that the root cause of all this is 100% cash-based political transfers, right up to the lowest levels. Unless this is stopped and officers are entrusted with the authority as well as the responsibility, we cannot expect things to improve for another 100 years. No reforms
Very
are
true.
required. Existing manuals are quite sufficient. Government should allow the head of the department to enforce the manual strictly. And
Maybe that's the
government should
issue.
hold him responsible for
No, there are clearly reforms that need to be taken up by the government. They've expressed that they're serious about it. We definitely hope so, but we'll have to see what happens in the coming days beyond just these transfers and suspensions. Thank you very much, Mr. Bhaskar Rao and Mr. Shankar Bedri, for your time, for joining us here on India Today. Now, this particular prison that we're talking about, Parappana Agrahara, is one of the most overcrowded prisons. Within the last few years, we've seen, of course, it's become notorious for high-profile cases, for illegal practices of providing all sorts of perks to celebrity inmates. Remember Shashikala, when she was caught on camera coming inside the jail after an unauthorized outing with shopping bags. Then you had Darshan, the superstar, caught on camera smoking in the jail premises. We list out for you the history, the dark history really, of this particular prison.
Parappana Agrahara Central Prison. Established in 1997 over a sprawling 40 acres, is a correction home for celebrities and famous people caught on the wrong side of the law, as well as for highly sought-after criminals. It has been at the center of controversy not once or twice, in fact, quite a few times. VK Shashikala, or the Chinnamma of AIADMK, was housed in this jail after conviction in 2017. Within months of her entering the jail, video of Shashikala carrying a bag and re-entering the main gate of the Bengaluru jail, accompanied by male guards, was submitted by a police officer, D. Rupa, as evidence that the high-profile politician prisoner was allowed illegitimate privileges. Allegations included that she was allowed special meals, leave prison and go out, and the cell kitted out with a flat-screen TV, and that a bribe of nearly 2 crores was paid for these privileges. Convicted in a disproportionate asset case for 4-year jail term, Shashikala's special privileges while in prison caught a lot of uproar, and the investigation did find the allegations to be true. Shashikala wasn't the only one. D. Rupa's allegation report also included special treatments allowed to fake stamp paper scam accused Karim Lala Telgi while he was housed in this jail. They were all found to be true. And it did not stop there. When the Sandalwood star Darshan was housed in this jail, video of him enjoying a smoke while holding a coffee mug in the prison ground while chatting with fellow inmates, including history sheeter Wilson Garden Naga, emerged in August 2024. It prompted the Karnataka government to shift him to Bellary prison. In August 2025, a 36-year-old under trial claimed that an extortion racket operates from within the high-security central prison at Parappana Agrahara and that he is a victim himself. Nearly a year before, in September 2024, the city police raided the Parappana Agrahara Central Prison complex and seized several banned items, including mobile phones. Police registered a case against prison officials and the Karnataka State Industrial Security Force personnel guarding the prison. From time to time over the past nearly 3 decades, accusations of high-profile inmates accessing net connectivity, alcohol, drugs, non-vegetarian food and birthday cakes in exchange of exorbitant sums of money have been raised multiple times. This prison is also known for security lapses leading to jailbreaks and suicides committed by high-profile criminals. Parappana Agrahara Central Prison currently has actresses Sanjana and Ragini Dwivedi accused in sandalwood drug racket case. Rania Rao accused in gold smuggling case. Bureau Report, India Today.